Once upon a time, just beyond the softest clouds in the sky, there was an enchanting place called the Shimmering Valleys. In this valley, the leaves on the trees would whisper whenever the wind blew, and the rivers sang sweet lullabies day and night. Right in the heart of this fairytale land lived a tiny unicorn named Poppy. Her coat was as white as fresh cream, and her eyes were as bright blue as the morning sky. Poppy was a very cheerful little unicorn who loved to play, exploring the world with the same wondrous curiosity of any 5-year-old child. Her favorite thing to do was to scamper about the shimmering valleys with her friends and play hide-and-seek with the butterflies. However, Poppy carried a tiny secret in her little heart, a gentle sort of sadness. All the unicorns in the shimmering valleys had horns on their foreheads that showed their very own special magic. As they grew, these horns would begin to shine, each scattering a different color all around. The horns of Poppy's best friends at school had already started to glow brilliantly. For example, whenever her best friend Rosie giggled, sparkling pink and purple stardust would tumble from her horn. Alfie, who absolutely loved running fast, had a horn that radiated a bright, emerald green light. And Charlie, who adored singing, would shoot out warm yellow and orange sunbeams whenever he hummed a happy tune. But whenever Poppy squeezed her eyes shut and focused on her horn, absolutely nothing happened. Her horn just sat there like a plain, clear crystal, and not a single color ever came out of it. "Why don't I have a color?" Poppy would sigh. "I wonder if I'm not magical at all." One spring morning, the most beloved teacher at Starlight Academy, Mrs. Silverwing, stepped excitedly into the classroom. Mrs. Silverwing was a very wise and caring alicorn with enormous white wings. "Good morning, my little stars," said Mrs. Silverwing, her voice as soft as a gentle breeze. "Today is a very, very special day. Because today, we are going to learn how to make the greatest magic in the Shimmering Valleys. Today, we are going to learn how to make a rainbow." All the children in the classroom tapped their hooves on the floor with joy. While Rosie, Alfie, and Charlie jumped about happily, Poppy slowly lowered her head. You needed colors to make a rainbow. How could someone whose horn didn't produce a single color help to build one? Mrs. Silverwing took everyone out to the great waterfall in the school garden. The water tumbling down scattered cool, tiny droplets all around. "Making a rainbow is teamwork," explained Mrs. Silverwing. "Each of you must send your color up into the sky. When your colors meet in the air, they will form that magnificent bridge." Alfie stepped forward and sent his green light shooting into the sky. Next, Rosie blew her pink and purple stardust. Then, Charlie beamed his brightest yellow and orange rays. The other children in the class added their red, dark blue, and light blue colors, too. But there was a problem. When the colors reached the sky, they began to bump into each other and get all tangled up. The green mixed with the pink, the yellow spilled all over the dark blue. The colors just wouldn't form that beautiful, curved rainbow shape. Instead, a messy, brown, and grey cloud of colors began to form in the air. It looked as if the colors were arguing with one another. "Oh no," cried Rosie worriedly. "Our colors have all mixed together." "Our rainbow looks dreadful," muttered Alfie. While everyone stood there not knowing what to do, Poppy watched from the edge, looking at that grey cloud in the sky and the tiny water droplets splashing from the waterfall. Suddenly, a little voice inside her whispered what she needed to do. A warm feeling woke up right in her tummy. She might not have a color of her own, but perhaps there was something else she could do. Poppy gathered her courage. She closed her eyes, took a deep breath, and walked right towards the middle of that grayish cloud of colors. "What are you doing, Poppy?" called out Charlie. "Be careful, you don't have any magic." But Poppy didn't hear him. She only focused on that loving, warm feeling inside her. She didn't try to force a color out of her horn. Instead, she simply wished with all her heart that her friends' beautiful colors wouldn't go to waste, and that they could all shine together in perfect harmony. Right at that moment, Poppy's clear, colorless horn suddenly began to change. No red, blue, or green light came from it. Instead, shining just like a diamond in the sun, a pure, flawless, and brilliant white light began to glow. It was the brightest, most dazzling light anyone in the valley had ever seen. This pure white light radiating from Poppy's horn shot straight through the middle of that messy, grey cloud of colors in the sky. And in that instant, great magic happened. Poppy's crystal horn acted like a giant prism. It caught the jumbled up colors and gently separated them. First, it carefully placed the red right at the top. Then the orange, the yellow, the green, the blue, the indigo, and the violet. All the colors passed through Poppy's pure, uniting light and painted a giant, perfect, and sparkling arch across the sky. The rainbow was so massive and bright that every single creature in the Shimmering Valleys looked up at the sky in absolute wonder. Rosie, Alfie, and Charlie started jumping for joy. "We did it! We made a rainbow," they cheered. Then they ran over and gave Poppy a huge hug. "We could never have done it without your magic, Poppy." Mrs. Silverwing fluttered her wings and came over to Poppy. There was a proud twinkle in her eyes. "Do you see, little Poppy," she said lovingly. "Not a single color came from your horn, because you have a much rarer and more unique gift. You are the pure light that brings all the colors together, guides them, and brings out the very best in them. Your magic isn't being a color, your magic is helping others to shine and bringing the world together." Poppy's heart overflowed with happiness. She finally knew why her horn wasn't like the others. She understood that her very own special talent was standing shoulder to shoulder with her friends' colors and turning them into a rainbow. From that day on, Poppy never doubted her own magic again. And whenever it rained in the Shimmering Valleys and the sun peeked out afterwards, the children would look up at the sky, see the brightest, tidiest rainbow, and whisper with a smile, "Look, Poppy and her friends are painting the sky with love again." And 3 magical apples fell from the sky. One for Poppy, who discovered the power inside herself. One for Mrs. Silverwing, who knew that every child is unique and special. And the last one for the beautiful children listening to this tale, growing their own magnificent talents inside them just like Poppy did. Sleep tight, sweet dreams.